and go. And go.
Hi everyone, thanks for making to join. Krista, I think Ara has done solid job presenting variety.
Sure, I think we put together a few options based on what our classmates suggested. I focused on places that are popular, affordable, and accessible for everyone. Our top three destinations are: number one, Pangandaran Beach, great for a relaxing vibe with best activities like snorkeling and best volleyball. Number two, Sumaru Mountain, ideal for hiking and camping with a breathtaking view. Number three, Yogyakarta, more of a cultural experience with a museum food tour and nightlife is place offer activities for different interests. So I think we could go with any of them based on what people prefer.
Krista, I think Ara has done a solid job presenting a variety of experience. Adi, let's move on to cost estimation.
Alright everyone, I did a preliminary breakdown of costs for each destination for our trip, which covers transportation, accommodation, meals, and activities. Here's what we're looking at. Pangandaran Beach, roughly estimated around 200,000 rupiah for each person. Meru Mountain, estimated around roughly 150,000 rupiah for each person. And Yogyakarta, estimated around 250,000 rupiah for each person, considering museums and tours we will be doing there. I will also be looking for a group discount since we will be going on a large group. We're probably gonna have to deposit upfront for our reserved spaces.
A good idea, especially with a large group. We also should consider with additional fee or permission for certain places like in mountain or maybe in we when we go to Keraton in Yogyakarta. We also need permit and additional fee before we entering the places. I think so.
That's a good call on the cost. Thanks, Adli. It's helpful to know we have some budget until friendly option in there. So let's move on to safety. Alright, Novel, can you walk your stroke any safety aspect we should keep in mind for its destination?
Sure thing. And for each location, I put some town list and some guide that will help you help the safety of ourselves and my other friend and the other friend during our vacation. And for the first tip I give you when we choose Pangandaran Beach as our vacation is maybe we need to protect our skin because this time of the year Pangandaran Beach is very hot and we need to protect our skin with maybe sunscreen to prevent sunburn on our skin when we go to the Pangandaran. And also we need to have a lot of clothes because we definitely play on water a lot during our stay in Pangandaran. So multiple clothes, preferably with cotton because it's absorb sweat and it's very breathable material that definitely perfect for our visit in Pangandaran. And definitely we need for maybe uh, some essentials just like uh, life jacket is maybe we can rent it in the Pangandaran. There's definitely a lot of place to rent life jacket for like that. And the second choice that you all choice is Meadow Mountain, and I predict that we'll be hiking. Definitely we'll be hiking Meadow Mountain. So I definitely recommend you all to, if you want to hiking Semeru Mountain, first one you need a guide. Definitely need a guide. Although you have experience on hiking before, you need a guide because a guide will more understand about the dynamic of the mountain and maybe dynamic of the mountain of and the most importantly weather pattern because weather is a leading factor of fatality during hiking in the mountain and definitely we we want a first aid kit just in case, definitely just in case we get hurt during hiking. And we need also bring a lot of clothes that preferably heat retaining, so definitely a thick coat is much better than just a t-shirt, plain t-shirt, because again the second fatality during hiking is hypothermia or just that because cold, and that's true. And definitely you don't want to die like that. I really suggest that you bring a very thick clothes so your body will not suffer in cold. And also we need talk about ration. Ration, ration, you know what I'm saying. But that I would say was just food. Food is also an important thing to consider if you go hiking. You don't want to sacrifice some weight. You don't want to bring heavy stuff. Just because you don't want to bring heavy stuff, you definitely don't want to keep on bring some food for you, because uh, if you slack off on the food amount, you definitely dead because you hunger, because you cannot you're hungry during our hiking, and you definitely don't have the energy to continue the hiking. And a third for the third destination that we gonna choose is Yogyakarta, which is the heart of the Japanese culture, and it have a lot of interesting place to go in there. Just like Kraton or Malioboro, it's one of the few very popular spot in Yogyakarta. And and for this Yogyakarta, I really suggest that we have a deep planning about go to Yogyakarta because it have a lot of place, and we don't want to someone to be left out. Just because you don't want to go Keraton doesn't mean we have to leave the Keraton for anybody else. And we need to go in group, minimal 2 people, because we do not want you get hurt. You don't want to get robbed or something. That's the worst case scenario, but it's better to think like that. And I definitely want us having some kind of meeting point, preferably a popular spot in Yogyakarta or near our hotel if we need to stay. Lastly, I think it's a good investment to use insurance travel. A lot of maybe Traveloka have it with travel insurance, but it's very expensive and it's ridiculously optional. But it's a worth time investment if we plan on vacation for more about a week or so. Also, we think about setting up a group message for a quick updates or something like that. I want you to have an emergency contact, just like maybe like your mom or your dad. That's definitely a great choice to have.
This sounds great. Thanks for making a safety priority, Nova. Let's hear from our communication officer next. Ali, over to you again. What's the plan for keeping everyone informed and gathering feedback?
All right, I was thinking of creating a different WhatsApp or Telegram group for especially discussing about this trip. And that group we could use for real-time updates and sharing locations. I can also set up Google Form to get a vote about everyone's preference on the destinations, as well well as any dietary restrictions or special needs. Probably there's someone from our class that have some allergies so they can eat something.
That's perfect. The Google Form can also help us collect everyone preferred activities so we can plan accordingly.
Exactly. I will manage the announcement through our group class chat too. So everyone is kept up to date, and once we reach the agreement for the final destinations, I'll share the itineraries and checklists on what to bring.
Alright, team, let's recap. We covered our destination options, budget, safety precaution, and communication plans. Here the plans moving forward.
Once we have everyone's feedback, I coordinated with BA on the booking.
Okay, I'll start making the checklist, and I'm gonna share it to the group chat. And in the checklist, I'll include it is the safety measurement when we go to several places that we will choose, like in Pangandaran Beach or in Yogyakarta or in Semeru Mountain. And some of the example that I'm gonna give an example of the safety measurement is like in Semeru Mountain that we will need again a thick piece of clothes that pretty thick and heat retainer so that we not get cold in the mountain. And the second of all is maybe bring more food because since we hiking, we're gonna release more energy and use more energy, and we want to replenish those energy with some food, preferably with high in calorie and in protein, because that's the main sustenance that we're gonna need during our hiking session. And about and the third thing that I'm gonna do is a lot of pair socks because a big mistake that a lot of hikers do is they do not have socks. I mean extra pair of socks because the wet socks make you feel very cold and eventually you got hypothermia and you got frostbite, which is ridiculous and it got high risk of amputation on your leg if you don't take care of your leg. And first of all, the shoes choice of when we go to hiking is also very important because you do not want to go to hiking using a sneakers. That's ridiculous. I really suggest that you have a boat or a boot or something and that preferably suitable for off-road activity. And maybe I could go more on detail about the guide and the guide and the weather because the weather is very important during our hiking session in the Semeru Mountain. And another thing that I would add to is choose the beginner path of the mountain because a lot of path that gonna I'm sorry, I'm gonna rephrase that. When the guide it asks us about the path the path that we're gonna use, uh, we have to. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm gonna rephrase that. I'm blank on my mind. We're gonna have to choose like a beginner path that really easy on us, and maybe we gonna adapt on it. Yes, maybe you have previous hiking experience, but that's gonna be useless if you don't understand the weather dynamic or the easiest path to get on the top. And maybe I give you and moving on from the Panda Semeru Semeru Mountain, I'm gonna give you some checklist that gonna uh, detail us about our visit in Pangandaran Beach if we choose Pangandaran Beach. The first thing first is again this time of the year is very hot Pangandaran Beach. The weather is ridiculously dry, so I really suggest that you have sunscreen for sort of a sunscreen to protect our skin because skin cancer is no joke and sunburn is again no joke again. And maybe you have some like shades, sunglasses shades that really black to protect our eyes from getting damaged by the UV rays, and preferably a thin clothes that preferably use cotton so it absorb our sweat because of course, we sweat a lot in the very, very hot weather in Pangandaran Beach. And I really want to remind you again that that we need a lot of pair clothes because again you're gonna play in the water in the beach, of course. So I'm really suggest that you bring extra clothes or extra piece of swimming clothes. And maybe and moving on from Pangandaran Beach, I'm gonna say again to Jakarta. In the Yogyakarta, we have a lot of great places to go, like Keraton Yogyakarta, or maybe in Malioboro, or maybe some kind of place where Pohon Beringin Kembar is located. It's very, very a lot of different places. So I want to check a list that we're gonna make a deep plan about where we go to Yogyakarta, because Yogyakarta is ridiculously general on our planning. So we want to go specific on it. Uh, that be all. That be all. I'm really thank you for listening to my suggestion, and make sure to check your equipment, check your check your readiness during our vacation. Thank you very much.
Perfect team. Thanks for all the hard work. We're on the trip for a great trip. Let's meet again next week to review everything. Bye bye everyone.